Hello guys, my name is George Wilkinson and I'd like to welcome you back to the channel. This is the Global Scholar YouTube channel. If you're new to this channel, on this channel I share about how to secure offers from some of the leading educational institutions in the world, scholarship opportunities, and generally tips for anyone planning to study abroad. If you love stuff like this, smash the subscribe button and join this community. In today's video, a very important, highly searched question on the internet: are international students in the UK eligible for student finance? Let's find out. Now, it is no secret that studying abroad can be very expensive, and so it is the reason that this question often pops up. And personally, I get this question a lot. So I think that first of all, we need to clarify what is meant by student finance. Now, when it comes to defining or putting a definition to student finance comes in so many ways. Now, there can be scholarships, there can be tuition fee discounts, there can be bursaries, there can be supports, there can be student loans, grants, relief funds, and more. And so what I'm going to do is that I'm going to go over each one of these options and to find out if international students are eligible for these options and how they can access them. Now, one of the most popular and basic forms of student financing is scholarships, and we all know scholarships too well. It is one of the first things that individuals look out for in their quest to study abroad, the availability of scholarships. Now, scholarship comes in quite a few ways. There is the full scholarship, which covers your tuition, your living expenses, your travel, accommodation, and basically for books as well, and for basically everything that you need to complete your studies. Then there's also partial scholarships, which sometimes caters for just your tuition fees or sometimes just for your living expenses. Now, one of the pillars on which this channel was built was to share scholarship information, and so I talk about scholarships a lot. If you haven't subscribed, subscribe to this channel just so that you will be notified each time I release a video talking about scholarships, so you won't miss any of it. Also, I have several videos about scholarships, scholarship opportunities, scholarship application, and also importantly, where I find scholarships personally. So you can go ahead and check out these videos. I'll link them in the description box below. Now, another form of student financing that exists is tuition fee discounts. This is whereby your university offers you some form of discount on your tuition fees. Personally, I was given a discount of a certain amount when I applied to my university to pursue my master's education. And so if you don't have access to a full scholarship or a partial scholarship, sometimes you need to take advantage of these little offers to cut down on the cost of your education. So find out from your university if this option exists, if your university is offering any form of discounts on your tuition fees for international students or for you for your studies. Now, let's talk about student loans, and this is, I think, the premise by which a lot of students do their searches. That is, once they arrive here, to find out if student loans can be given to them to help them with their students. I'm referring to international students. Now, one of the main forms of student financing in the UK for UK students is in the form of government loans, which enables them to be able to borrow money to help pay with tuition fees and to help with living expenses. But however, these are available, like I'm saying, to students originally from the UK and sometimes from students from the EU. Now, usually these are not available to international students because international students are required to show proof of financial capability before they are even given the option to travel to the UK to study. And so in your visa applications, one of the most important things you need to show is that you have paid all of your fees or part of your fees, and you do have the remaining in your bank account alongside your living expenses in your bank account. And so this is a requirement before your student visa is issued. Now, the UK government does this just to ensure that no student finds themselves stranded or finds themselves in financial difficulty in their quest to pursuing their studies. So the answer is no. If you are an international non-EU student, it is unlikely that you will be able to get a student loan from the government here in the UK. However, some universities create their own student loan schemes for talented students or sometimes from students from low income backgrounds. This includes non-EU students, so it is worthwhile asking your university, and I'm sure they will be able to give you all the relevant information that you need. Now, still on the subject of universities providing loans, sometimes there is the option of emergency funds. Now, these emergency funds are short-term in nature. They are small amounts that are supposed to help you with some expenses, your living expenses, when you are in financial difficulties. So these are not huge funds to cater for long periods. This also exists with universities. I know that my university stated this sort of support on their website, emergency funds for students. You did have to apply, but the most important thing about these emergency funds is that you will need to pay back. Another form of student financing that exists is bursaries. Now, bursaries are monies that are offered on the basis of students' academic abilities, household incomes, or a combination of both. Now, the money could be used to pay towards a student's tuition, books, equipment, or travel or living expenses. Bursaries in their nature are non-competitive, and they are usually dispersed on financial need. They are sometimes described as awards, and usually students don't have to pay these monies back. Now, another form of student financing is grants. Now, a grant is also some sort of non-repayable fund that is given generally via a government or third-party organizations such as charities, churches, individuals, and trusts. Sometimes organizations also make grants available for research and business projects as well. One of the most important things to note about grants is that they are offered at the discretion of the grant provider. They set their own criteria, and usually those who receive it don't need to pay them back. Relief funds. Now, this is a very interesting one which I got to know about here in the UK during my studies. And so relief funds, I don't know how popular they are, but during my studies, it did come up. During the period whilst we were studying, it was COVID that was at its peak, and a lot of students were going through difficulties. And so the UK government released some funds to the universities to be distributed among students based on their needs. And this was termed as the COVID relief funds. It's not a standard thing that happens regularly or all the time. I don't know how often it's going to be run, but this is just one of the student fundings that popped up during a time when students really needed it. So it's the reason why I'm bringing it up and talking about it. Now, in rounding up part-time jobs, I wouldn't say this is directly a student financing option, but it does provide some much needed fund for any students who is looking at sustaining themselves and seeing themselves through their education. So yes, part-time jobs are also a form of funding source. I have videos where I talk about how to secure or how to find part-time jobs. I'll link it in the description box below. If you find a part-time job, it can help with your finances, your general living expenses, just so that you don't find yourself in financial difficulties. And I hope this video was useful to you. If it was, smash the like button. If there is any question you have, put it in the comment section below and I'll be sure to answer your question right away. Subscribe if you haven't subscribed to this channel yet. My name is George Wilkinson. I'll catch you in the next video. Peace. Bye bye.